But you love that mindset from him, right? As a coach, you would love to have just one guy that's leading your team in that way.
No question about it. I've known Rondo since he was a young player. Coached him out at Gerg's camp in the summer when he was a rookie. And we had a few conversations, and he told me he would take me to the hoop every time if I tried to guard him. So he has great confidence in himself, and he also is a great player.
He must not know how well you can move, Coach. Hey, I seen you moving on this court yesterday. You still got it.
Nah.
We might be able to get you a 10-day.
Nah. I'll take one, though.
Well, look, in the past decade, he's the only player with 2 separate 20-assist playoff games. Let's take a look at his last one in his last victory against the Warriors for the Pelicans. So here are some of the plays. What do you see that he's doing so well here?
Well, right now, there's not much pressure on him, and he's able to make plays to wherever he wants to, and he can take his time. He's just standing there. He doesn't have to turn his back. He doesn't have to get Draymond off of him. He's already off. This is the thing that hurts, though, in the pick and roll. You try to go under or you try to beat him because you're playing off of him, and then he changes direction and there's a repick, and now the big has to help, and somebody has to help on the roll, and he hits the open man. Look at this space here. Rondo's such a great passer, you know. He passed that with his right hand, even though, you know, he's standing there and they take the right pass away from him. He reaches around, makes a sweet little bounce pass, but he doesn't get credit for his passing or his vision. I don't know why.
Well, he gets a lot of credit for his passing, Coach. He has a lot of assists.
No, they talk about the great vision of Ben Simmons. Rondo has great vision.
Well, Rondo does have great vision. The one thing that I saw in that clip was that they didn't really try to impede his vision. Golden State really didn't try to get into Rondo. When you're a player like Rondo, who isn't known for his jump shot is improving, teams a lot of times, or players, they back up off of you, they give you space, they go under the screen like Coach talked about. But what happens is the great players that don't shoot the ball well, they make the adjustment. And that also gives them 2 things they can do. They have the ability to drive whenever they want to, and then they have the calmness to pick you apart as far as passing. Coach, can you be Rondo for me for a second? So if you're watching that video, whether it's Iguodala or Draymond Green, they're guarding Rondo like this. They're back, they have their hands up, and Rondo's good enough to sit around here and pick you apart. He can see if Chris is open over here, if he wants to hit a shooter in the corner. He can find anybody he wants to. But now, throw the ball back to Coach. Instead of that, if Iguodala, who has the ability, gets into Rondo, now what's the first thing Coach did? He turned to the side. Now he's not as comfortable. Now Rondo goes from passing Rondo to playmaking Rondo. Now he's forced to drive the ball. Iguodala's right in here, and you're challenging him. You're taking away one of his options. Rondo's a great player. You're not going to be able to stop everything that he does. What you don't want him to do is have the ability to drive whenever he wants to and pick you apart with passing angles and look into the passing lane. So I think one of the biggest things that Golden State has to do, whether it's Draymond, Iguodala, Clay, whoever's guarding Rondo, they have to get into his space, get into his hip, force Rondo to be aggressive.
There's one other thing in that. When you're playing off of me like that, and now you've lost angles. I go here, you got to come over and try to get in front of me. I change directions.
Oh, Coach, you're real quick out there.
And then I'm in the paint. So, you know, you got to make sure that you don't give up angles when you're playing against him. And also, you want to make him turn. And if he made me turn like he did, I'm not seeing over there just as clearly. But if I'm this way, I'm looking both ways. I see alley-oops. I see everything.
Well, one of the advantages that Golden State has always taken advantage of against their opponents, the fact that they have tall defenders who are versatile. And Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, you saw them on Rondo in different points in that game. So you think they'll change their approach for Game 4 and actually be more aggressive defensively? And with that height advantage and the ability to move their feet, they should be able to have a better defensive scheme against them.
I think easier said than done.
Yeah, but I think Steve Kerr is one of the best coaches in the league. He'll look at the film and he'll say, we really made life easy on Rondo. That's why he was able to get those 21 assists. We have a bunch of long athletes we can put on him, whether it's Sean Livingston, whether it's Draymond, whether it's Iguodala, Klay Thompson. We could throw a bunch of different bodies on him, pressure him, force Rondo to do something else besides just sit around and pass the ball and throw it to Anthony Davis whenever he wants to. I think the coaching staff of Golden State will make that adjustment.
One of the interesting things that David Aldridge said also was the fact that JaVale McGee was not working defensively against New Orleans, so he was in the starting lineup the last game. It'd be interesting to see if Andre Iguodala is inserted into that starting lineup. Do you think that changes the matchup at all if that happens?
Yeah, if JaVale's not in that lineup, it definitely changes things. It puts a lot more pressure on Draymond because he's going to be forced to guard AD off the jump. And that's very tough because they did a great job of having AD duck in. And also, it changes the lineup because it does allow you one more athletic body out there that can put some pressure on the perimeter. And putting pressure on the perimeter is key for this Golden State Warriors defense.
Well, basketball Twitter is an excellent place. We just found out that Andre Iguodala is in the starting lineup. So
we're
Steve
going to call you a basketball prophet.
Hey, apparently he's watching the show and is like, you know what, that guy Chris has a good idea. So do you think that's actually a defensive substitution? Okay, Andre, we need you to come out and provide this for us.
They're trying to get more versatile because the kid has hurt them. They need another player. But as Brendan just said, now Draymond's got to guard AD full time. And that,
what was that? What was that?
That ain't what you want. Listen, I know Draymond is one of the best defenders in this league, but one-on-one with AD in this paint, no chance.
Maybe they put KD on him.
He doesn't want it either.
No, what's the sound effect again? See, that's the key. But who do you really have the that works sound effect with when it comes to Anthony Davis? Because he seems like an impossible assignment.
Yeah, Anthony Davis is very versatile. I think he's the best big man in all of the NBA, and it's because he does everything. So there is a great one-on-one matchup for him, but I like a lot of times when you guard him with a bigger body, try to force him away from the lane, and then you obviously have to double and give some help. But one-on-one, there's nobody on Golden State, or I even think in the NBA that can guard Anthony Davis.
So Draymond Green is, I guess what you're saying is he's going to have his hands full. So it'll be interesting to see how the Warriors come out defensively. Draymond Green,
Andre
Iguodala. I mean, these are guys that have known to be good on that end of the floor.
Well, they're good on that end of the floor, and they're going to have to be better.
Game 4 between the Warriors and the Pelicans tips off at 3:30.